entire career in the Navy. I've been going from place to place to place, religion to religion to religion, not really believing in any one facet of any of them. And in fact, my latest venture was I considered myself a pagan. And then I met Sarah, and she started talking to me about what Christ has done for her and the joy that she's had in her life because of Him, and the worship and the fellowship that she does. And then I went to Iraq. The whole time I was there, I began asking questions. How can this be happening? If there is a God, how can He let this happen? How can He let this country be in famine and poverty? And I just couldn't understand it. And some of the things that I saw there and some of the things that I had to do, I never want to do again. And the first bunch of casualties included 4 people. 3 of them were severely wounded, and 1 of them was dead. And I went to the one that was dead first, and I did my initial assessment on this guy. It was dark, I couldn't really see, and I found that he wasn't breathing, there was no signs of life. So our training tells us to move on to the next person who we can save. So I did, and I treated the other 3 casualties that we had there. I couldn't accept that he was dead, and so I went through the whole thing again. I went through the whole assessment. I went through the breathing, the pulse, the whole 9 yards to see if he was still alive. And at that time, we had a chaplain right next to us, and I had asked him to shine a light so I could see. And this guy came to me, and he was turned, his face was turned to the left like this. And I straightened out his face, and he was gone from here to his shoulder. And at that point I knew there was nothing I could do for this guy. I started asking myself and making promises to myself and to a God that I didn't even believe in at the time, that if I were able to come home, then I would change my life and I would devote my life to Christ. And for the first time in my life I did. I turned it over to God, and for the first time in my life I realized that I couldn't sail this ship alone. And I started praying, and I started talking to God, having a conversation, private conversation, public conversation, whatever it was. I was pretty impressed with the feeling that I got from just talking to letting it go to someone else, putting it in someone else's hands. And it's sad that it took a war for me to realize what's out there for me and what I can do, and letting things go, how much I gain. So that, to me, is what keeps me coming back. I've never been the most religious guy, obviously. You can take one look at me and tell right away that I'm not a man of religious background or religion, period. It's a struggle every single day, and there's things that I think that I should be doing or I want to do that aren't a part of God's plan for me, and that's the hard part. That's the difficult part. But through the worship that I have and the family and the friendship that I have through the church, it's made me realize that I don't have to do it alone. I think Rancho Vista is a great place. I really enjoy going there each and every Sunday, and every opportunity I get to spend time with my church family is wonderful for me. In fact, when I don't go, again, like I said, I feel like there's something missing. And I'm excited about baptism. I think for the first time in my life it's going to mean something to me. It's going to mean being able to let go and making that commitment that I've always wanted to make. And the baptism for me on Sunday is going to mean that I'm making that commitment publicly, and I'm willing and able at this point to let things go and let God take over. It's a big step, and I'll be honest with you, I'm nervous. I'm a little scared because I've never made such a commitment before. But I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Finally.